Good evening, brother Deming. This is Rafael Lopez. It's nice speaking to you. So, about the project. This sheet is something that I'm doing for my brother. He has a business where he sells perfumes, colognes, and other kind of stuff. But he asked me, or actually, I proposed to him if there was any kind of Excel sheet that he would need so I can help him with that. So he told me, yep, you can help me. There are some things that I have in mind, but I don't know how to do it. So he helped me with the project and I'm helping him with his business. Okay, so right on. This will be the raw sheet. This is the data that he gave me. This will be like the way that he receives the information from his providers. And this is the cost in dollars and in Honduran lempiras. If the value is less than 103, it means that it was purchased in dollars. If it is more than that, then it was purchased in lempiras. Uh, there are some things that I will explain in a moment about this, but this will be my raw data. This is the price that he enters manually for the perfumes. There is no special condition or formula, he said. So he chooses to enter that information manually. Okay, so we have about 368 pieces of data, okay, in 3 columns. So the first thing that I did was to select and try to separate this into brands and designers, things like that. And I did that by using the text to columns feature. Okay, I used to space it or separate it by spaces, because that's how it is set over here. So I went over here and separated the text to columns. Here, I try to set an easy way to get the brands, designers, and perfume models, if you would call them that way. Some of the brands were only one word, so they were very easy to get, but others were more than one word. So I needed to use the concatenate in order to get those together. And practically for the ones that are only one word, I did it very fast, but for the others, I practically needed to do it manually. So some of them were in lowercase. So in order to display an uniform data, I chose to get those changed to uppercase. And this is the copy of the value of the B column here in A. Okay. So once I got this, I was able to create the brand, the brand column. So all the perfumes could have their own brand and then list the details of that perfume or cologne. Okay. So let's see. Here in my calculations sheet, I created another data according to the needs of my brother. So just to give you an example, oh, by the way, the provider ID, I created 2 providers for the project, just for project purposes. I was not able to get this data from my brother, so I just made it up. And this will be my pathway ID number. And the formula is a conditional that applies the value over here. The I number is one of my constants over here. Okay. So I have the brand, I have the cologne or perfume details, I have the price, and I have the option here to select if this price is in USD dollars or in Honduran lempiras. And I did this because my brother wanted to have the information in one column. He didn't want these to be separated. So in order to apply the right format and also to comply with what he wanted, I created this. So every time that someone selects one of the two available currencies, the format changes. Okay. These ones are about the number of units that were sold in different stores. My brother has two stores, one in a mall and another one based in home. So due to COVID-19 situations, the mall store is not open. So you won't see any value over here because, well, there are no sales from this site. Okay, this will be the initial inventory, like the number of perfumes that my brother got originally. And the current inventory would be like the result of subtracting the initial from the initial inventory, the things that are sold on home or mall store. Okay. Then we have the weight in pounds. This applies if the product is brought from the States. Okay, so this is the formula to get the cost information. And in case the currency is selected to be USD, we are going to follow this formula that practically applies some of the charges that are from for custom purposes. There's miscellaneous charges and also the value per pound. I need to correct this. Value per pound would say. Okay. And also the current dollar exchange. Actually, this is not the current dollar exchange. It's just the exchange that my brother likes to use in order for him to prevent something with his gains. I don't know. I need to study more about financial aspects, I'd say. But well, okay. So that would be with the cost in case the currency is HNL, so Honduras and Lempiras. We only will need to divide the actual worth of the cost price between 1.5, and that would be to subtract the value of this deduction. This is a local tax that my brother asked me to take away from the cost product in order to have the cost converted to lempiras. So I just did what he told me over there. Okay, so also about the wholesale price. Okay, my brother offers like an 80% discount for people that would like to sell perfumes. So this will be like a resale price, actually, not a wholesale price, but a resale price for every perfume. And I used an if error formula just in case there is any error or missing data in the P or AJ cells. Okay. So I did the same here with the if error. In order to summarize the inventory worth, this will be the actual inventory. Okay, let's see. This is the regular price that my brother entered manually. Okay, this is an interesting formula about the whole price over here. My brother wanted me to give him the chance to round this amount of numbers to the closest quarter or to the closest 25. As an example, he would like this value to be rounded to 1,250 and this one to be rounded to, let's see, to 875. So I was really struggling in order to get that. And I got, by looking into the internet, I got to this formula. This is something that we didn't study during the lessons on the class, but I was able to find this. So the way it works is that this value, that would be the one in Q3, the one for the wholesale price, is compared with a significance that I got from here. This will be the ceiling amount. So my brother wanted that number to be always to the rounded to the closest multiple of 25. And that's how I got this right. And an if error, just in case there's missing data and we only want a 0 to display over there. Okay, so as you can see, 694 would be rounded to 875. Sorry, 868 would be rounded to 875. 956 would be rounded to 975. And that's what he wanted over there. Okay, so let's move with another interesting formula. This one is the advertised price that my brother gives. So this will be the regular price and this will be the advertised price that has a 25% discount. Okay, so all of my constants are here. Let me change this to ceiling so you can get that right. Okay. Okay, let me show you something else about here. Okay, so here I calculated the percentage gains if my brother sells this perfume as with the wholesale price, with the advertised price, or if he just sells that perfume in with the regular price. Okay, so here are those beautiful calculations over there. Also, in order to have a single list of brands, I needed to create separate list and get rid of the duplicates. So here we have all the brands that are listed in my brother's inventory. We have a total of 102. 102 brands. Okay, so I use this information and name them brand in order to go over here and enter it here in this data validation cell. Okay, let me see if I have something else to show you over here. Okay, inventory, okay. So this sheet will help my brother to find relevant information about specific fragrances. Here, my brother would select the designer. Here, he would select the actual fragrance. So let's select a different one. Let's select Calvin Klein. Those are like the ones that my brother has the most, like 16 different perfumes. So let's look for Calvin Klein. Here it is. In this part, uh, we will list all of the perfumes that are listed in the inventory. And here we would select any of the perfumes. And the information would update for each one of them. So here we will see the actual cost of the perfume, the wholesale price that, as I told you, this would be most like a reseller price, okay? The advertised price, this is the regular price minus the 25% discount, the regular price, and also the gain percentage if he sells this perfume in either of these options, like wholesale, as advertised, or regular price. Okay, this one was a little bit tough and challenging, to be honest with you. So I needed first to create this list in order to have this list to update automatically. This information is the one that I use to validate or to create the data validation for this cell. And I will explain you how I did it. Okay, I used an index function, as you can see. Here, I refer to the calculations sheet in order to list the array that would be practically the whole table of data or information, but specifically this, since this column, the G column. Okay, in order to get the row number and also the column number, I had to do some calculations at the side. So it will always look this way, like start from providing information since this cell, and then to this one, and then to this one. I will explain you how. So if I go to the calculation sheet, you would see over here that the index calculations section. So in order to calculate the rows, I only use the rows formulas and compare or get the difference between the H3 row with the H3, that would be 1. And then I got a H3 with H4, that would be the number 2, and so forth until the end of the data. Okay. For the column number, I use a simple if statement. So the value over here is that if the value in fragrance lookup, that would be the product brand, is equal to the value in the G column, then we'll have the A3, that is the row number, listed as the column number. Okay, and we are talking about column numbers from G and on. Okay, so this will create, just to give you an example, if I select, let's leave it there in Calvin Klein. If I select Calvin Klein, this will give me some values in the following columns, from 61 to 76. Go down, and here it is. The values for that contain Calvin Klein will be listed over here. And as you can see, yep, there it is, Calvin Klein, all of this. All of that is Calvin Klein. So because I was getting a lot of white spaces when trying to list this information, I remember that we can use also the small function in order to list data from their smallest value to the biggest. And that is how I got the same result or the same numbers from the column, uh, from the column from the column B into C. Okay, so once I got this right, we go to the fragrance lookup, and every time that the customer or my brother selects a different brand of, or designer, sorry, a different designer, he would get the fragrance listed here and also updated over here. Okay. For the data, I just used a VLOOKUP function. My VLOOKUP value was the fragrance. So, and I created an if error just in case the data is incorrect or not compatible with something. So just in case, you would say something like select a valid fragrance. Let's imagine that this is blank, so it will show the if error arrangement. Okay, so if I go here and select a perfume, my VLOOKUP value will be, as I told you, the fragrance. Then my table array will start since the fragrance name, and that would be located in the H column. And then it will continue on indefinitely in the until the column Y. Column Y is the one that has the values for this part: cost, wholesale price, advertised price, and regular price. And in order to get my column index number, I just made like a comparison as I did with the index to get the right column number by stating that I'm starting in column H, that would be column 1, to column 3, P3, and it will make like an addition or subtraction that will give me, as an example, the number 8 for each column, or for this value at least. If I copy paste this one, it will go to, if I copy paste it like in another row, it will change the P number. That's why it is not locked. It will change it to a Q, and then to an R, and then to an S. So I don't need to be entering the data manually. And we are looking for an exact match. Okay. So just to confirm that this is right, let's select the first perfume. Okay. So here we see that the cost is 2,083 and the advertised price is 3,300. Okay, let's keep that in mind. 2,083 and 3,300. Okay, costs. The cost would be here then, 2,083. And what was it? The advertised price, 3,300. 3,300. Okay. And also for these ones, I just used VLOOKUP values as well. I just extended the name or the use of the columns. First calculations get until this point, until Y. But for the percentages, it goes until the AC column, as you can see over here. Okay. This will be for the fragrance lookup sheet. And I also prepared pivot table and a pivot graph. So my brother can see the top sold perfumes, and he can arrange that data by brand or by provider. To give you an example, let's compare how well the Calvin Klein perfumes sell. Okay, the blue series would be the advertised price. This would be the price with the 25% discount. This will be the cost. All is reflected in Honduran lempiras, that is our local currency. And the green line would indicate the number of units sold. Okay. If I select a different provider just to see Luigi's, I can see here the difference. If I want to see only Ralph, that would be the difference. If I want to see another perfume from Ralph's, I just need to select this in the slicer. Sorry, I forgot the name. In the slicer. Okay. Okay, just let me tell you that I invested a lot of time in this, approximately, and I'm not giving you a false number, that would be approximately between 12 hours of work, because I really use my I really use my brains to get into these formulas, especially this one. What I was able to find a solution, a practical solution for them by doing this. And I really appreciate the time that you have taken to review this information. I'm about to upload it so you can review it. So thank you, and you have a great night.